Because my husband played football, I feel like it's something that kind of helps us connect with him and remember him.
Oh yeah, good catch.
When they throw the ball or when they run down the field, I see him. You know, there were other people out there like us and other families out there like us. And I think that's so important with TAPS.
Your loved ones are never going to be forgotten, and we're going to celebrate them whenever and wherever we can. Thank you for being here, and let's have a wonderful weekend together.
You've let not only the families, the hundreds of families right here in this room know that their loved ones are not forgotten, but you've let this nation know that we honor all those who serve and sacrifice.
Being surrounded, by the Falcons and other military and non-military all together, I think the whole day is beautiful.
February 26, 2006, Christopher was killed by enemy fire on a routine patrol through Baghdad. We play for Christopher Shortland.
I'm Julio Jones, and we play for Carl Campbell. I'm Calvin Ridley, and we play for Cole Chaney.
Captain Joshua Byers was killed in Iraq on his mom's 50th birthday. He was known for making his soldiers laugh and providing morale boosts despite the chaos of the war around them. We play for Captain Joshua Byers.
Hello, and to all our TAPS families this evening, thank you for allowing us this opportunity to continue to remember and salute your loved ones. Hey, everybody, I'm Dave Archer, Atlanta Falcon Radio Network, and I'm so honored to serve as your MC this evening. We put together a pretty cool program for you with speakers that you'll know and maybe a couple of surprises along the way. But don't forget to stay interactive with us. You received your yard sign, so continue to post those pictures. We love the pictures on atlantafalcons.com/taps. Remember, include hashtag Falcons Taps on your posts. And if you would include the past or present Falcon player that played for your loved ones during our last 4 years. So let's get started. Hey, it's going to be an excellent evening. We're so excited that you are with us tonight. And let's start off with a guy a guy that you recognize, a name you'll recognize. Chris Millman is the Vice President of Community Relations for AMB Sports and Entertainment. Chris is entering his 13th season as the Community Relations Department Director. And you know what? It's way more than that. He does so much more. 13 years. He oversees our entire community relations outreach program. Chris, turn it over to you, man. It's all yours.
Arch, thanks for hosting tonight. Good evening, everybody. I wish I could see you all. Unfortunately, tonight I don't have the opportunity to get a chance to see your faces, but again, hopefully I'm a familiar face to yours. We are so pumped to be able to honor your loved ones again. The unfortunate circumstances of this pandemic obviously created a lot of challenges for all of us in a lot of different ways. But I think one really bright spot here is that we have found a way to still stay connected to you guys, and having an opportunity over the past a couple of weeks and really looking at the map of where all of you are. And if you go to our website and you check that map out, oh my gosh, it is crazy to see how far everyone has really come to visit us over the past few years. As you all know, and when you were with us here in Atlanta, we told you that your loved one was not to be forgotten. And having the opportunity to not only connect with you guys again, but really shine a spotlight on your loved one again, and hopefully we'll have many more times to do this. But this weekend and this past week has really been to show that you guys will always be part of our family, and you always be part of our hearts. And having the opportunity to do that again this weekend is really meaningful to us. So. Exciting few days here for us. This is always one of our favorite weekends of the year. We got a big game this weekend against the Denver Broncos. which we're definitely looking to continue our winning ways. We were able to win last week against the Carolina Panthers, and hopefully we'll continue that this weekend against the Broncos. I'm going to turn it back over to Arch here in a minute. Like Arch said, we got a number of special guests that are going to join us this evening. Going to give you an opportunity to hear from Steve Cannon, our CEO, which all of you have met before, as well as Bonnie, who I know is a very familiar face there as part of the TAPS organization. But there is somebody I want to go ahead and turn to now. As many of you know, our head coach, Dan Quinn, is no longer our coach now as of a few weeks ago. However, he is very, very close connected to this TAPS organization, and he will always be connected to our Atlanta Falcons family. He was very well aware of what we were doing this upcoming week and weekend with all of you, and actually reached out to us this week and asked if he could play a special message that for all of you families directly from him. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Coach Quinn for our message.
TAPS families, this is Coach and Stacy Quinn. As usual, Stacy's working behind the scenes as the camera operator today. Over the past 5 years, it has been our honor to get to know 280 amazing families and their fallen heroes. We've shared some football games and visits with players and coaches, shared some tears, lots of hugs and smiles, and stories of the most extraordinary people. Although we're not together this weekend for a game, we continue to honor and respect you and your fallen heroes. We love you, we got your back, and today we'd like to give a special shout out to Bonnie and her staff at TAPS, to Steve Cannon, and to the unbelievable CR department of the Falcons with Chris Millman and Maddie and Amanda and Danielle and Courtney and Taylor. Thank you for giving us this extraordinary opportunity to share in this life-changing journey. Have an awesome weekend. We love you.
Awesome. Well, I was really excited that he was able to send that in, and we all thought that obviously you guys would enjoy that as well. He's definitely somebody that is a close personal connection to us and always will, and we just love him for all that he's done, not only for TAPS, but a number of different things during his time here in Atlanta. One thing I do want to make sure to bring up this evening, I know many of you have received the link through TAPS. Several of you reached out about wanting to send Coach Quinn and Stacy a message, and you definitely have the opportunity to do so. So if you'd like to, please take advantage of that link. We will have a deadline of Monday evening. 7 p.m. Eastern time is your deadline. So please, if you'd like to send them a message, please do so this weekend or on Monday, and we will make sure that they get those messages directly to them. So with that, I'd like to kick it back over to Dave Archer to bring up our next special guest.
Thanks, Chris. We appreciate you. And man, I do say that with all due respect, that we appreciate what you do. You do so much for the Atlanta Falcon organization. One of the guys that's behind the scenes that really deserves an MVP attached to his chest. We appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, Arch.
There he is, Chris Millman, the Executive Vice President of Community Relations. And really, like I said, so much more than that. ENC oversees our entire outreach program. All right, let's bring in the CEO of AMB Entertainment, Sports Entertainment, Steve Cannon. Steve was named the Chief Executive Officer of AMB Sports Entertainment back in 2016. Steve graduated with honors from the United States Military Academy at West Point, and he was our 2019 Salute to Service honoree for the Atlanta Falcons. Steve Cannon with us this evening. Also, I want to welcome in Bonnie Carroll. Bonnie, you guys all know Bonnie. I mean, come on, this is the lady all know and love. Bonnie, the president and founder of TAPS. Bonnie founded the Tragic Assistance Program for Survivors in 1994. Bonnie is retired major in the Air Force Reserve following 31 years of service. By the way, Bonnie received the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2015 from Barack Obama. Welcome, Steve, Bonnie. Pleasure to be with you guys this evening. Steve, I turn it over to you, my man.
All right. Thank you, Dave. And
Hey, everybody. I'm so thrilled that I get to be here with all of you. We go back a little ways. And while I feel a little sad that we're not together because I've seen so many smiling faces, I've gotten so many hugs, we've exchanged so many good stories, laughs and tears over the course of the last 4 years. The one thing I guess I appreciate about this is we've got all 280 together. Usually we can't bring all those folks together all of you together at one time. So together now with my entire TAPS family, and I really do consider you my family, is an honor. It's a privilege. I will tell you that as the month of November begins, all of our efforts start to move towards honoring and our salute to service efforts. We kind of consider November to be a sacred month for us. This is an opportunity for all of us across all of the Blank family of businesses to use every bit of the power of our platforms to shine a spotlight on service, on sacrifice, and for us to now be together again, it's just so gratifying. So before I go any further, I've got to tag on to the thanks for Chris Millman and the CR team. We've been doing this for a little while, and what has always impressed me about this group is how deeply caring they approach our TAPS relationship and salute to service. This isn't anybody mailing it in. They take this deeply personally. They curate all of our get-togethers with a level of care, and I will say love, because we want to make sure that every time we get together, it's a moment of truth. It's a moment of laughter. It's a moment of joy. And above all, it's a moment that we get to remember our lost loved ones. I think that's one of the most important tenets of Bonnie's program, is that they will never, ever be forgotten. And the only way they'll be forgotten is if we stop talking about them, if we stop laughing and crying and remembering them. So I believe so deeply in the TAPS mission. I remember back a few years, I got invited by Bonnie to a grief camp weekend. I think it was at the Holiday Inn near the airport in Atlanta. And we bought Freddie Falcon, we bought some cheerleaders. But I was just so struck by the magic that takes place inside of those weekends, difficult weekends. It's a lot of times heart-wrenching to unpack the grief that all of us have experienced. So at that moment, I knew I was hooked. And since that time, I've been a friend of Bonnie's and a friend of everything she does. I feel it's my privilege every time I get to share a stage with Bonnie, or share a meeting with Bonnie, or a suite at a Falcons game with Bonnie and her team. It's honestly my privilege. And a couple years ago, Bonnie asked me to join the board, and I've been doing whatever I can to help support her in her mission. But more than that, I'm not just a board member, I'm a TAPS family member. This is my brother, Captain Mark Cannon. We went to West Point 3 years together. I lost him about 6 years ago to depression. I try to honor him every single day. My engagement with TAPS and a lot of other military nonprofits is my way of standing up and representing my brother and keeping his memory alive for me. So again, my connection to all of you is deep, it's meaningful, and it will be ongoing. You have our commitment that your loved ones will never be forgotten. And the Falcons have been around since 1966. They're going to be around for a little while. And as long as they're around, we're going to be using these platforms to celebrate all of you. So I'm just so thrilled to be here. And I guess I'm gonna bounce it to my partner and friend, Bonnie Carroll.
Hey, Steve, thank you so much. That was beautiful. I'm just in tears. And I love the fact that you have your photo button and you're honoring Mark and remembering him, and that we have come to know him because we know you. And you've shared his life and his service with us, and that is precious. So hi, all of our TAPS family. It's so good to be with everybody, and I just feel the love that's here. We've all been blessed by the Atlanta Falcons. What they have created for us is beautiful. It's extraordinary. It's authentic. And I know each one of you have felt it. you know, we've gotten the yard signs and these awesome shirts, and we've been part of this engagement and this family reunion. I love that we had Dan Quinn with us. He's made so much possible for us, and it wouldn't have been a family reunion without him. So thank you so much for that message. And Chris and Danielle and Courtney and Maddie and the whole team at CR. Oh my gosh. But Chris, nobody can match your energy. It's absolutely phenomenal. And we miss it. We miss being in that room with you and just getting all pumped up for the game. And we sure miss the opportunity to see the players and be there at the practice and then cheer them on at the game. And Steve, you and I talk a lot through each of the games and just reflect on the fact that the Falcons have honored and remembered our loved ones. So they've got a pretty deep bench up in heaven. And I think our loved ones, especially this last weekend, were right there for them. So you've taken care of all of us. We want to take care of you and cheer you on. This is a relationship. I love that you said that it will go on because that's what you do. You honor American service and sacrifice. And to take your Salute to Service month and make it about those who not only served, but paid the ultimate price for freedom is just absolutely wonderful. You do it like no other, and we just love you. We've also loved getting to know the Blanks, the owners of the team, Arthur and Angie, and what beautiful folks. We really, really feel like we're just family with them. But I just wanted to say to all our TAPS families that are gathering there, we miss you so much in person. I wish we were there hugging on each other, and we will be soon again. This is just a temporary period, but I hope you feel that. I hope you feel the love that we have. I hope you know you are not alone, that we were all in this together. We're all here thinking of each other, remembering our loved ones, sharing our stories and our photos, and just knowing that we're going to be together soon. So Steve and the team, thank you. Thank you for all you do for all of us. We love you so much, and we just can't wait to be together and let you feel those TAPS hugs again.
And I know you're coming in, Arch, but I just have to say to everybody, so I get like 5 or 6 texts from Bonnie every single game, win, lose, or draw. She's there with us. She's either congratulating me or consoling me. So I want you to know she is all in, fully vested, the real deal. So I never want to lose. I feel like I need those texts every single game, Bonnie. So keep them coming.
You got it. Thanks, Steve.
I know one thing. I'd love to have Bonnie speak to the team, Steve, prior to the game, just to fire them up and get ready to go, because I don't know that I've ever met a person that's got more energy than Bonnie has. It's incredible.
And she's been doing this for a long time, and there's nothing that other than gratitude that motivates her, honoring her husband and taking care of people. What a servant leader Bonnie is. She's got a servant heart that's as big as Texas. And I know all of you out there tonight feel that, have experienced it directly. And if you don't hear it enough, Bonnie, we love you. We appreciate you. And your leadership is changing so many lives. And more importantly, it's changing lives and it's inspiring others. So kudos to you, partner.
Well, love you, Steve. And you know, we do have a wonderful family at TAPS, and all of our surviving families on this call have gotten to know Diana Hosford and Jessica Harper, Bree Mathis, Lauren, the whole team. And it really is just a labor of love. It's getting our family together to make new memories, to be with others who truly, truly understand. So this is fantastic. We're so excited about tonight.
Well, Bonnie, those TAPS families, Steve, go ahead. Do you have something else?
Sorry, I missed something in my intro that I feel really deeply about that I need to communicate. So I love those words from Dan Quinn. I feel a little bit like I've lost my battle buddy in Dan, because everything that we've done together. Dan and I went to Kuwait and Iraq together to visit soldiers in forward operating bases all across Iraq. I took Dan and team to West Point, and they went through the West Point Cemetery, and we celebrated those that have made the ultimate sacrifice. It was such a meaningful thing. And every single year that we've done our salute to service and our TAPS family weekends, Dan and Stacy have been there, and I miss them deeply, deeply, and just want to make sure I'm honoring them tonight. They are such wonderful, caring people. Every bit of what they've done has been 100% genuine. He's not checking any boxes. He's not doing public relations. He's only doing it because he believes so deeply in it. So kudos to my friend, Dan Quinn. Miss you, buddy. And look forward to getting together soon.
Thank you so much for saying that, Steve. I concur. Boy, it meant so much to Coach Quinn being involved with TAPS and the families that we are talking about tonight. The TAPS families, by the way, guys, have submitted questions for you guys, so this will be fun. They had a chance to submit some questions, so we're going to jump right into some of these questions. Steve, I'm going to go to you first. Sally Woodard, her fallen hero is Engineman Petty Officer Second Class Sebastian Woodard. He was honored by the Falcons in 2019. Sally asks, Mr. Cannon, how does your love of sports, the Falcons specifically, tie into a respect for the military?
Right. Well, I played sports my whole life, and God bless you, Sebastian, and you're here with us. So I'm going to honor you. I played sports my whole life. I've been in the military. I had the honor to serve my country. The two are really connected. It's about taking care of your brother. It's about your left and your right, and something greater than yourself. And that's what the military and team sports have in common. I had no idea that I was going to land into the world of professional sports, but here I am, and I have the privilege of working with Arthur Blank and running his businesses. And I pinch myself every single day that I get this opportunity. But I did go to Arthur and said, hey, Arthur, can I have permission to make the Atlanta Falcons the benchmark in the NFL when it comes to honoring and giving back to the military? And since that conversation with him a couple years ago, we've engaged, and people like Chris Millman and his team have taken it so personally. We went to Fort Benning together. We jumped out of the 34-foot tower, and that was an interesting sight to see. So we met with soldiers, we talked to people, and so it's been such a wonderful, wonderful journey. The two forever will be linked for me, sports and I think it's a metaphor that soldiers appreciate athletes, athletes appreciate soldiers, because they know that it's all about something greater than themselves, and it's about taking care of your brother.
Bonnie, this one's for you. Donna Martinez, fallen hero is Army Specialist Nicholas Martinez. We honored him in 2019 by the Atlanta Falcons, and she wants to know probably what all of us would like to know, Bonnie. How do you do all that you do? Despite all the issues that have been caused by COVID-19, you've managed to create these unforgettable moments for survivors. What's your secret? How tough has it been to miss all those great hugs that you like to give?
I thank you for that. And hi, I'm sending you a hug right now. We do a lot of this. We do a lot of selfie hugs, but I can't wait till we're all back together again. And I promise we will be. Until then, we've just been doing everything we can to get together in Zoom rooms, in conversations, in chats, in our care groups, any way at all that we can just reach out and touch each other in this whole crazy virtual environment. But oh gosh, just knowing that you're on tonight, knowing that everybody is right there is the best. It's just fantastic. So we do have, we've got that great team. Diana Hosford, who is keeping all of the sports activities going, and she's been working with the Falcons and just doing a tremendous job. So we have a lot of folks who are working really hard to make sure that we do have these amazing opportunities. And but as you know, nobody does it better than the Falcons. Nobody can be a Chris Millman with that level of energy for 13 years and allowing us to come into your house, to stay at the training camp, to be at the games, to cheer on the sidelines, to meet the players, to do everything you've allowed us to do, to wear the jerseys. It's absolutely extraordinary. So, Donna, we're doing our best. If you have any other ideas, other ways that we can get together, let's do it. And to the Atlanta Falcons, gosh, again, we love you so much. And thank you for honoring and remembering our loved ones. It means the world to us. Thank you.
Something I say on the radio quite often, or whenever I'm interviewed about Falcon players, guys, I mention that Atlanta Falcon players have a special DNA. It's a DNA that's meant to serve the public, and you can't be an Atlanta Falcon unless you're a part of that. You guys have both seen it from a couple of different directions. Bonnie, you as players interacting with our TAPS families, there's a number of things the Falcons do in the community. Nothing has touched the players as much as the TAPS partnership has touched the players. From both your perspectives, Steve, from a guy that's very close to the team each and every day, to Bonnie, you see him, once a year when we do our TAPS week. Tell me about what you've seen and how much it's impacted not only the TAPS families, but how it's impacted the Falcon players as well. I think it's deeply affected them. Steve?
Yeah, so thanks, Dave. Look, I've got to say that all of this starts from the top. It comes from a guy named Arthur Blank, who is a servant leader. He's got a service heart, and one of his core values that's guided him throughout his entire life has been about giving back. It's about making your community better, making the world better, and he lives that every single day. So when I came to him and asked about making the military one of our more substantial pillars, he said, go for it. And it's so wonderful to see how it's manifested itself across all of our businesses, no better than how it's touched the Falcons players' hearts. That video at the front, Jenny put that together on our team. I get choked up every single time, but to bring a mom together with Matt Ryan and have a catch on the field with their boy, like, talk about honoring their loved one, that lost husband. It's heart-wrenching, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And so I know that we found a way to make this extremely personal and tangible for our players by up close personal contacts with all of you, by hugs, by jersey exchanges. That moment last year when I watched everybody come into the locker room at Mercedes-Benz Stadium and their jerseys with your loved one's name on the back. Like, what a wow moment that was. And it's not lost on coaches. It's certainly not lost on me, our entire organization. That gives us, I'll call it the rocket fuel that makes us want to do more, makes us want to be better every single time we get together. And again, it's so meaningful for our players, but I got to give credit back to Arthur Blank. It starts from the top, and his leadership is what's driving all of this.
Oh, Steve, thank you so much. And, you and I talk a lot about wins and losses. And this season has been a tough one for the Falcons. And that was, really felt in some of the changes. So, it's just all in that win-loss column. But you and I also come out of a military background. And then the military, we have wins and we have losses. The wins are battles and the losses are casualties. And for our families, we have walked in the loss. We have suffered those losses, those casualties. We have grieved our loved ones. And, we really find that after the honors are rendered, a lot of times we just kind of disappear into America. And our friends fade away. We have an expression at TAPS that grief really changes your address book. Some of the people you thought were there for you maybe just drift away because they can't handle your grief. And then others who truly understand come into your life. And that's what the Falcons have done. You came into our dark place. You came in to give us joy, to honor our heroes, to remember our loved ones, to wrap your arms around us and make us feel seen and heard and loved and cared for. And we know that's not easy on so many levels. You did it because it's the right thing to do, but I want you to know how much it means to us and that we recognize that regardless of wins and loss in football, in that sport, in that game, that we love you regardless. And that's just a score. But the bigger score is where your heart is, where you put your energy and you put it where it matters in America.
Steve, Tracy Mendez asks, and her fallen hero, first of all, is Marine Lance Corporal Tony Hernandez. We honored him in 2018. Tracy asked, Steve, what has been the most memorable part of participating in TAP's Salute to Service program?
Yeah. First of all, we didn't just honor Tony in 2018.
Continue.
We honor him now, and we'll
That's
continue
right.
to honor him. So I just want to shout out to make that very, very clear.
Yes, sir.
Look, this is one of the neatest missions that I've been or ever been a part of, and we all need a little help every now and then. And I certainly, what Bonnie just said about grief changing the address book, and that I've experienced that, and I know all of you have. And this is a safe place. We've just created a safe place where we can all share and we can be together. Most importantly, we can draw strength from each other, because it takes strength to get through things. And again, we never want to overcome the loss of a loved one. All we want to do is keep them in our hearts, find ways that we can honor them every single day. I feel very privileged that I'm connected with platforms like Salute to Service, like Major League Soccer and Atlanta United and the Falcons and our PGA Tour Superstores. Those are our platforms, and I feel driven to use them to the best of our ability to make sure that that powerful spotlight shines right back at all of you, right back at your lost loved one. I just can't get out of my mind the picture on the great big halo board. And you all remember where each of your loved ones' pictures was 60 feet high. Talk about celebrating your loved one. We made them larger than life, which is absolutely what they deserve. So we're going to keep finding ways to make your loved ones larger than life. And again, this is some of the most meaningful work that I've ever had the privilege of doing.
Bonnie, Lloyd Byers would like to ask you a question. Fallen hero, Army Captain Joshua Byers. We continue to honor Captain Byers. Our first opportunity to honor Captain Byers was in 2017. As we continue to honor him, a question from Lloyd Byers is COVID-19 has impacted how has it impacted TAPS, and when will the regular TAPS events start taking place? So obviously it's been tough to navigate through this weird time, but Bonnie, what do you know about when you're going to start doing stuff in person again with TAPS?
Well, actually, Lloyd, thanks for that question. And it's so good to hear your voice out there and know that you're on. This is great. We actually, this next weekend, will have our first in-person survivor seminar regional event in St. Louis, Missouri. So we're doing that within the guidelines of Missouri and St. Louis, and they're doing well. We have a giant hotel. We have the whole space to ourselves. We have a small group coming. So we're going to be incredibly safe and careful, but we're going to give it a try. So we're looking forward to that and seeing at least a few folks who can come together. But all of our other regional seminars and our national seminar were all virtual. So it actually gave more folks an opportunity to attend. It sounds crazy. It wasn't the same as sitting down at the table and having a meal and, having that time just one-on-one, but we did get together, and we actually got feedback from a lot of folks that said, maybe I could go to one regional seminar, but this year they could go to every single one of them because they were all available, all online. We had great speakers. We had some really good care groups. We had Emily Munoz doing a program the evening before called Downshift, that's just relaxation. So keep an eye out for those. We've got a lot of really wonderful things happening. It's virtual, but we're right there at your home. So think of us as one. I love this. One mom wrote me a note and she said, I probably wouldn't have been able to come to too many events, but now she said TAPS came right into my living room. So we'll think about it that way. And just know that as soon as we can get back together again safely, we will be there.
Awesome.
And thanks, Lloyd.
Awesome. Yeah, no question about it. Thank you for your question. Steve, we'll finish up with one question for you. And I think this is something you've touched on. You've been very adamant about this, very passionate about this, and rightly so. But the question comes, the Atlanta Falcons partnership with TAPS, why does it mean so much to you, and why do you sit on their board?
I sit on the board because I gravitated to everything that Bonnie does, the mission, the people. I'm a people person, and this is about kind of coming together, drawing strength, laughing, crying. It's about humanity. So love the mission, admire Bonnie Carroll. And, I think we're all enriched when we get to spend our lives or spend our time with great people. And let's rise above all this noise and all this division. I tune the media out right now, and this is soul enriching right now. I'm spending media time in an enriching environment as opposed to watching CNN or anything else. So I love and draw energy from people like Bonnie. And again, we'll always find ways for us to help you. So as Bonnie said, you're starting to get back together. Bonnie, you always have an open invitation for as many people as you ever want to bring to Atlanta. I know you had a couple events in the past. We got a great big stadium. We're accommodating people very safely. In fact, we're going to have about 7,000 people in our stadium. We've got amazing protocols. We know how to take care of people, keep them safe, and provide them with exceptional hospitality. So I look forward to the opportunity to roll out the red carpet to all of you just as soon as we can.
All right, Steve, you're on. We are there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Steve, Bonnie. I think all of us are enriched that have a chance to be around both of you from a leadership standpoint. This is a very difficult time, but leaders are people that you really cling to, and you guys do it at the highest possible level. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. I know our 280 families that are tuning in are so thankful that both of you are in charge and are a part of what we're doing with TAP. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Dave. Great to be with everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Sending love to every single one of you, and honor and respect all of you, and look forward to seeing you again in person very, very soon.
There you go. Steve Cannon, Bonnie Carroll, two of the best people out there. Really appreciate having a chance to visit with both of them and them sharing their vision as to what TAPS means to them, and certainly what it means to our organization as Atlanta Falcons. Thank you to Steve and to Bonnie. All right, guys, this is one of the ones where I told you that we were going to maybe throw a little special twist in here. We're going to bring a couple of football players into the mix now, a couple of former Atlanta Falcons, both of them now part of the media, guys that I get a chance to work with that have a tremendous perspective on football, but they also have a very unique perspective of what TAPS means to them, because both of them were associated with TAPS as players and a part of this organization. So I welcome in Harry Douglas and DJ Shockley, two guys that I work very closely with in the media now. And I guess we got to call ourselves media guys now. I mean, it's can't do the player thing anymore, but these two guys are going to share their experiences with TAPS. Guys, we're really appreciative of both of you being with us. And they're also going to take you in depth into what you might see this weekend as the Denver Broncos come to town. Harry and Shock will share their ideas about how we get a W this weekend. So Harry, Shock, I'll turn it over to you guys. Harry, if you want to take the lead, it's all you, my man.
First off, I want to let all of you know that it is a tremendous honor to even be here with you, speaking in front of all of you. And I want y'all to know that myself, along with the Atlanta Falcons organization, we will continue to celebrate your fallen heroes. And we appreciate your strength, your drive, your courage, as well as you continue this journey called life. And for the TAPS program, I actually had a chance last year before a football game to meet numerous of you people, and your stories were just remarkable. How brave y'all are, and the things that y'all do, as a lot of y'all have children, is just remarkable to me. And a program like TAPS, I love it so much because it gives people an avenue to be able to deal with the trauma. So I want to thank y'all for allowing me to be here And me and DJ, we're gonna talk some football with y'all and break it down so y'all can understand what's going on out there on the field with Matt Ryan, the defense. I know y'all are happy the Atlanta Falcons have won 2 of the last 3 games. And Shock, I'll let you go ahead and go.
Harry, I appreciate it, man. Arch, appreciate you being a big part of this. And, you know, it's always cool to have this opportunity to better speak with everybody that's, you know, in this TAPS organization. You guys have to bear with me. Hopefully my internet stays good. I'm in Louisiana, Lafayette. I have a game tomorrow. I'm in a hotel, so hopefully the internet holds up pretty well for me. But similar to what Harry mentioned, man, it is a honor. It is a privilege to be able to get on this call. Along with Arch and Harry, we have numerous opportunities to do tons of things in our community, tons of things that we're passionate about. And for myself personally, I've had the opportunity to be around the family as well as, you know, through my time now since I've been gone. And to be around you guys, I think it warms my heart even more to see the strength, to see the courage, to see the things that you guys continue to do daily and continue to live your life and continue to make sure that we want to make sure for sure that, you know, the names and the people in your family are never forgotten. I think what you guys represent is awesome. Who you are is awesome. Being a guy who understands the importance of family as we all do. The fact you guys continue to live daily and be men and women of extreme faith and continue to, you know, just instill the good values in your kids, instill the values that we have all learned and grew up over the years. It's pretty heartwarming. I'll be honest. It's one of the premier organizations that whenever the Falcons ask me about, regardless of what I'm doing, where I'm at, I want to be involved in it. So we hope that the other part I want to mention is, you know, it's an honor for me to be a part of this organization that cares so deeply and continues to every single year want to make sure you guys are never forgotten, make sure the names are never forgotten, and make sure that you guys are always loved by this organization. And the one thing I know from the top down, everybody is right here with you. Everybody is standing beside you. And of course, whenever you're needed, whenever we need you, of course, we all need strength. We're there for you. So we appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight. We appreciate the opportunity to be able to stand in front of you guys. And, you know, I know Harry, I know Arch, I know everybody from this organization a long time, and everybody is as genuine as it gets. So we appreciate you guys, and we look forward to, you know, talking a little ball here in a couple seconds. And, you know, from myself, Harry, Arch, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn when I say we love you guys and we love what you guys stand for.
So, Harry, give us an idea this weekend, what you're looking for. This is a Falcon team as we shift gears and talk a little football for our 280 TAPS families that are going to be watching the Falcons and the Broncos to do battle this weekend. So tell me what you're looking for from an Atlanta Falcons standpoint. What have we done in the last couple of weeks that you like, and what do we need to improve on to make sure that we win the football game this weekend?
I'll start with the defensive side of the ball. One of the things I like a lot with this Falcons team is that they realize, okay, the pass rush might not be getting home so much. So what Coach Raheem Morris and Coach Ubrick has started to do was bringing a blitz from the linebackers and bringing blitzes from different places to create that pressure. If you're not getting it up front, then you have to try to create it. And when you look at the Denver Broncos, they're starting 2 rookie offensive linemen. They're starting a rookie center and a rookie right guard. And when you have that, and you just want to create mismatches, create dysfunction, create things on that O-line, create confusion. And not to mention, they have a young quarterback, they have a young tight end, they have young receivers on the outside. So what the Denver Broncos is going to try to do is run the football with Melvin Gordon, one of their running backs, and Phillip Lindsay. And since Phillip Lindsay has been back, against the Patriots game, he has rushed for over 250 plus yards, and he's been their spark plug for the Denver Broncos. So first thing you want to do is stop the run, but then you want to force Drew Lock to beat you. You want to force that young quarterback to beat you. You want to send all kind of things at them, bring confusion with that O-line so they can be at a disarray. So you can have Deion Jones coming through those gaps, blitzing, Keanu Neal, hopefully Grady Jarrett. You know, Grady Jarrett has been the most consistent Falcons player on this team this year in my eyes. And hopefully they can create some sacks and get some turnovers.
Shock, when we look at the other side of the football, that offensive side, you a quarterback, I know you have a keen eye when you begin to look at breaking down defenses. This is a Denver Bronco team that's been pretty good when it comes to third down defense. They've been solid in that regard, but they've had a few cracks defensively. We know that Von Miller's not going to be coming off the edge, but they got a guy named Bradley Chubb that ain't bad. That guy can come get you too. But it's interesting. They've got a young, as Harry said, a young team on the offensive side. They got a young team on the defensive side as well. Some guys maybe people don't recognize. Give us an idea, give us a thumbnail of what Atlanta has to do offensively to get after this Bronco defense.
Yeah, Arch, I think the number one thing you bring up that's most important is Bradley Chubb. And in the game of football, we both play quarterback. We know the importance of guys who put pressure on the quarterback. So Bradley Chubb, number one, is the guy that's have to know where he is. He's got 5.5 sacks on the season. This is a Denver Broncos defense. They got 20 sacks coming into this ball game. So they get after the quarterback. They pressure the quarterback. Now the Falcons have done a better job this season of protecting Matt Ryan. Last year it was almost like 3 sacks a game. I think it's down about 2 sacks a game now. But his offensive line is playing a little bit better. But I think the number one thing where this offense starts is in the run game. Todd Gurley has come over. I think he's been a pleasant surprise. I think he's been the guy that everybody expected him to be coming into this season, and he's played well. This Falcons offense is predicated on the play action. So to have the play action, the run game has to get going. The Falcons are able to run the football in this ball game. Everything else opens up for them. Everybody knows about Julio Jones, who's playing at a high level, continue to be that guy for him week in and week out. But it all starts with that run game for him. Hayden Hurst, I think he has become a bigger product, I think, in the red zone. He's had his times throughout the season where he's played well. But this is an offense that Matt has done a really good job of distributing the football to a lot of different guys. Not sure if Ridley's going to play. He was hurt last time out. But other guys like Russell Gage had to step up. Christian Blake we saw come in, made some catches in past previous games. But this is an offense that is predicated on running the football. If Gurley can get going, we've seen this offense play at a high level and continue to throw the football down the field. I think we saw last week versus the Carolina Panthers, the way the Falcons started the ball game, I think was most important. We've seen them run the football a lot in the previous game, but then they came out in that ball game, the first 3 plays of the game, play action passes to Julio Jones, first 2, and then the next one down the sideline, another one to Hurst. You get 3 explosive plays to start the ball game and breaking Tennessee. So I love what Dirk Carter, the offensive coordinator for the Falcons, has done. He's broke Tennessee throughout the year, and he's doing a lot more on first and second down, which helps the third down percentage for the Falcons. So run the ball, then create play action, and then here comes explosive plays and break those tendencies for the Falcons on offense. And ultimately, you're going to have a good outcome.
Harry, very unique situation with a matchup that 2 young guys, 2 rookies, number 1 draft picks, have seen each other before. A.J. Terrell and Jerry Jeudy faced each other in the 19 national championship game. In fact, A.J. Terrell had an interception in the first 3 minutes of the game on a pass that was intended for Jerry Jeudy that he returned for a touchdown. Both of them played great. Jeudy had 5 catches, 139 yards and a touchdown. Terrell had eight tackles and an interception return for a touchdown. You were a phenomenal player both here in Atlanta, but at Louisville as well. Is that a unique situation where you see a receiver in that situation, where you see a guy that you played against in college? Can you remember something like that may have kind of in your career as a Falcon where you saw somebody you saw in college?
Arch, it's funny that you bring that up. I was in the same conference in college in the Big East at the time with Darrelle Revis. So I actually got to play against Darrelle Revis when he was with the New York Jets and with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I'll tell you this, we won the football game in college, and we won majority of them here in Atlanta when he was in Tampa, and I think also with the Jets. But I can bet you Jerry Jeudy has not forgotten about that A.J. Terrell play in the national championship game that went for a touchdown. And I actually see on film, Jerry Jeudy, he's getting frustrated out there because, like I said, they have a young quarterback out there, and he might not be reading things the correct way and getting them the football as much as he can. But one thing I have seen is that he's winning on a lot of his routes. And when you win on a lot of his routes, all coaches can do is say, it's just keep doing the same thing. Eventually the quarterback will see it and he will get to you in the progression. Now, AJ Terrell, I think AJ Terrell is playing is football as just about any rookie out there right now. I know he had to miss one game due to the COVID circumstances, but he's playing tremendous football. He had a great play last week on 3rd and 5 where he was in cover Tampa 2, but he played with his eyes. He read the play, he reacted. And you see weeks back where he had an interception in a cover 2 situation where he knew that the 2 best receivers on the Minnesota Vikings team was lined up at number 2 and number 3. So he see the tight end line up above him. So he kept his eyes in front of him, read the quarterback, jumped the route, got an interception. So whenever you have your young corner reading plays like that, and the film that he's showing now is the film that you've seen when he was at Clemson, great things are going to happen for him.
All right, Shock. People think that, okay, as a quarterback gets older, okay, he's learned about as much as he's going to learn in the game. And I tend to think that Ryan continues to evolve, even though we're in his 13th season. This guy's thrown for over 50,000 yards in his career, nearing 400 touchdown passes. Is he continuing to is he still learning, still absorbing information? Shock, can you do that as a quarterback in the 13th season?
Oh man, yes, you can. You can always continue to learn. I mean, Arch, I think me and you are still learning each and every week. I mean, I enjoy sitting up in the booth listening to you call games every week, and I learn stuff still. So even as a guy who's out of the game and not playing anymore, you still learn stuff. But you watch Matt every single week. You watch some of the things he does in game that you never even see, that never comes up in the stat line, and he is continuing to put his team in positions to win. There was a play last week. I'll give you guys an example. Carolina comes up and it looks like they're in a 2 shell. They got 2 safeties deep, and it looks like they're just going to play coverage. Well, Matt comes up, he does the usual, like he's going to snap it, and then he sees one of the safeties start to creep down. One safety creeps down, the nickel linebacker starts to come inside the box a little bit. He immediately changes the protection. Now he gets Gurley up on that linebacker. He slides the line to the protection to pick it up. And then now he hits Julio Jones down on the left side for a 15-yard dig route. Those are things that never come up in the stat line. Those things that you don't ever hear guys talk about after the game. But these are winning plays, and Matt continues to do that week in and week out. And people think it's all about throwing. No, it's in the run game as well. There's so many times he gets this offense from a bad play into a good play just by what he sees up front. Matt continues to learn. Now, a lot of teams are trying to do a lot of different things to this offense because you got Julio Jones. They try to double him. They try to disguise. So you get a lot of funky looks for this offense. But that's why you have a veteran in Matt Ryan who's been around so long and understands what defenses are trying to do to this offense. And he puts his team in the right spot majority of the football time. So it's fun to watch Matt continue to grow. It's fun to watch him continue to thrive in this offense. And 13 years later in the National Football League, he is still putting up big numbers. You mentioned 50,000 yards. I mean, he's leading the league right now in yards. So that tells you the guy still got it, and he continues to distribute that football to every single guy out there who's on the field, and he expects the best out of everybody while he's out there.
Well, I tell you what, you two guys are a credit to your families. You're a credit to the Atlanta Falcon organization. I always say that to be an Atlanta Falcon, community service has to be in your DNA. You two guys embody that. You've continued to embody it, even though you're not playing. I know that the 280 families, our TAPS families that are on with us tonight, celebrate you as well. We appreciate you guys taking the time. Shock is in Louisiana, getting ready for a football game. Harry does everything he can possibly do to be available whenever you need him. Harry's there. These two guys are aces and two guys that we are very, very proud of in the Falcon organization. Thank you guys for being a part of this evening, and thanks for being a part of sharing and remembering our loved ones we've lost with these TAPS families.
Our pleasure. We appreciate it. Love you guys.
Thank y'all.
There you are, Harry Douglas and DJ Shockley. You can catch those guys on 92.9 The Game, on Falcons.com. They do a ton of stuff and help keep the fans educated as to what's going on out there. I hope you enjoyed talking Shock, talking a little football with Shockley and Harry Douglas. A lot of fun. Talk to those guys and listen to those guys break it down. We're closing into on the end of our evening, but before we get out, I want to bring in Chris Millman again. And you guys know Chris, and I won't give him a long introduction again this time because although he deserves it, he does such a great job for us. Chris, I turn it over to you, my man.
Yeah, just a quick few housekeeping things before we wrap up tonight's program. One, hope you enjoyed getting a chance to see some familiar faces tonight. But want to just talk about a few things as far as the weekend is concerned. One, hopefully all of you by now have received your special box with all of your goodies in it from the Atlanta Falcons organization. Obviously, we'd love for you to, as Art said at the beginning of the program, take those photos, post them on social media and whatnot, so we can definitely try to shine a spotlight on you guys throughout this weekend through our channels. So I want you to obviously do that. Make sure you wear your special commemorative shirts this weekend. I'm wearing mine here now to get ready for the big game on Sunday. And obviously there's some other items within that box certainly want you guys to wear. Now, a couple things as far as Sunday is concerned. One in particular is that we are going to share a link with you guys over the weekend. Hopefully you'll receive this tomorrow. At worst case, you'll receive it Saturday, but that is actually going to be able to give you footage of the Jumbotron and actually seeing what's going up on there on the stadium. So if you don't have the game on in your local market where you may be, it's on CBS this weekend. But if you don't have the game on in your area, you'll at least be able to click on this link and see what's going on the field and throughout the game on Sunday. So that's number one. Expect an email from TAPS, whether it be today or tomorrow or Sunday morning with that information. Secondly is we are also going to be able to provide you guys a live look into the stadium on Sunday morning. So Sunday morning, I believe it's 11 a.m. Eastern. The community relations staff, led by Danielle Renner, who you'll have an opportunity to meet on Sunday. I know some of you have actually probably met her in the past, but Danielle is going to take you through kind of a behind the scenes of Mercedes-Benz Stadium on game day. There are a couple of things that I know that you guys have already seen before. A lot of you have seen before while you've been at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. But there's also a couple things we want to make sure you get an opportunity to see. One in particular is you'll notice many NFL teams now are doing tarps as far as covering their seats. And for this weekend and this weekend only, you'll actually see this ATL logo that is on your T-shirt with all the following hero names that will be on one of those tarps. We'll also have the TAPS logo on one of those tarps, as well as our Falcons Salute to Service logo. So really, really neat. They're actually being installed over the past couple days, and they look amazing. And so we want you guys to have an opportunity to see those. Certainly, we're going to share pictures of those with you all after this weekend is completed. But if you tune into the live look-in on Sunday morning at 11 a.m., you'll have an opportunity to see that for yourself. Next thing I just want to also bring some light to is I know I believe it's right around 100 of our families have signed up to be a part of the TVU concept on Sunday's game, and there's some interactive elements that you'll be able to do, and actually we'll be a part of some of our virtual fans on Sunday. If any of you are NBA fans, I'm sure you saw what the NBA did this summer with their virtual fans and whatnot. It's a similar concept, and you'll have an opportunity to experience that on Sunday. So looking forward to having you guys be a part of that. So just looking through the rest of my notes here, I think I've covered just about everything. We will have one of our players, one of our linebackers, number 54, Foye Aluakan, who will be running out of the tunnel on Sunday carrying that TAPS flag. So even though you won't be in the building on Sunday, we are still trying to recognize this organization, TAPS, and as well as all your loved ones, and know that you guys are going to be in our hearts throughout the entire weekend. As Bonnie, as Steve, and all them, as everybody said this evening, hopefully we get to see you guys in person again here in the future, and hopefully you enjoyed this weekend and all that it is. So We love y'all, and thanks again for joining us this evening. Arch, I'm going to turn it back over to you to close us out.
Thank you, Chris. Can't say enough about what you do, your team does, and really a special thank you to Danielle Renner, who does an amazing job, and really Courtney Kindle. A special thank you to Courtney Kindle, who headed up our TAPS evening for tonight. She did an incredible job of putting this together. So thank you, Courtney. Thank you to you for being a part of this evening. I hope that we've expressed how much your loved ones and you mean to us. Enjoy the game this weekend. From the Atlanta Falcons to you, remember, from us, your loved ones will never be forgotten. God bless you all. Good night.